I don't even know how you got him that far up. I had to do surgery. I had to get tweezers to pull him out.
Bull.
No, I swear on my life.
Buckle up, everyone. We're finally getting a little bit of relief as we wait for the 5th season of Stranger Things to drop. With the show's latest season being a #1 hit on Netflix since its release, we kind of saw it coming. While we're not ready for Stranger Things to end, the spinoff coming after season 5 will ease the pain of saying goodbye. Let's get into what we know so far.
And I've tried to forgive myself. I've tried, but I can't.
First off, let's cut to the chase. What's the spinoff about? So apparently Finn Wolfhard's the only one who knows some of the premise, and that's only because he was super smart and figured it out accidentally. Other than that, the Duffer Brothers have been pretty quiet about what the story is gonna be. While fans had some initial theories that seemed convincing, they all went down the drain once they see the original cast from the show wouldn't be involved at all. That definitely takes away a lot of angles to consider, but there are some we could still look at, because the Duffer Brothers said this series would be 100% different. We're wondering if it would involve the Upside Down at all. We know we're heading back to Hawkins, so we're wondering if this will either involve the future or the past. From what we're theorizing, the spin-off series might go all the way to the beginning of when things started going strangely wrong in Hawkins, or it might keep its focus on the revival of Hawkins. Fans think that there might be different time jumps involved within one story. We saw Eleven and her siblings in the lab develop some pretty cool superpowers during the course of their stay, but we know some of those siblings escaped as well. It's possible that the show might focus on another escapee of the lab entirely. But would that mean it goes against the Duffer Brothers' 100% new intent for the show? There are a lot of opportunities to work on whatever idea the Duffer Brothers come up with. The fan base is there, the funding is there, and there's no holding back.
Flambe. Nobody moves on to the next phase until we've all copied. Nobody deviates.
Up next, what other theories are fans speculating? What people are also speculating about is that the Upside Down might not be the only dimension, or human beings are the only ones who have managed to access it. What if there are other worlds to explore, and maybe they won't be as dangerous as the Upside Down? Fans are wondering if the show might take inspiration from real-life conspiracy cases as well, considering that Stranger Things was loosely based on the Montauk Project or the MKUltra Project. Some of the other concepts that would fit well in the existing Stranger Things universe would be the Philadelphia experiment, Roswell incident, Area 51, and the Mothman of Point Pleasant, because they can all follow the trope of bad government officials versus a homely band of unsuspecting kids. Then again, who's to say there'll be a gang of kids this time? If the Duffer Brothers want to do something new, they should bring in a bunch of old and experienced people who are off their hinges and swear a lot, because we can't imagine the hilarity of it. Stranger Things has often relied on its comedic and heartfelt moments to really deliver the gut-wrenching heartbreak of losing characters in the show. There are some theories that the spin-off series might not be live action at all though. Some believe it could be an animated series, and this would make sense as any spin-off media have found themselves within this realm as well. A year ago, there were rumors about an anime series in active development called Stranger Things Tokyo. Whatever happens, we're sure we'll enjoy it when it's finally here.
Are you ready for the most metal concert in the history of the world?
What's more, the lesser-known characters might get the spotlight. We know no returning cast, but maybe that was only meant for the main ones. There are plenty of side characters who we really need to see again. First off, Vecna's backstory could use some expansion. We know we got enough to understand what happened, but his plan was something that was years in the making, so a lot's still left to uncover. Secondly, why haven't we heard once from the escape kids of the lab? The ones 11 met in Season 2. We probably should have gotten more insight throughout the seasons, but they were never brought up again. Admittedly, the episodes they were introduced in weren't well received, especially with Callie having a name that literally means black in Hindi, and Urdu. Her dark skin isn't her only defining feature, so that should have been thought through a little better. The other characters could use more of the spotlight as well. It'd be great to know how they made it out of the lab. Thirdly, the split in the Earth to the Upside Down must have had an effect on not just Hawkins, but on the rest of the world as well. There will definitely be long-term consequences to this, so focusing on different areas of the world affected would be a super cool take the Duffer Brothers could do. While most of these spin-off theories have been pretty serious, Redditors have come together for laughs and suggested some that they'd really like to see Housewives of Hawkins starring Karen Wheeler. We think a look into the stressful lives of the housewives and mothers of this rocky neighborhood's long overdue.
Remember the dream I told you about? About the Winnebago, about seeing the country with my 6 all nuggets.
Coming up, what does the original Stranger Things cast have to say about appearing in a spin-off? Some of them have already admitted that they wouldn't want to be a part of one, at least not so soon after they've done wrapping up with Season 5. Wolfhard considered the possibility of doing it in the late future, saying, "I think if it was in 10 years or something like that, and there was a movie or a limited series, I think that'd be kinda cool." Millie Bobby Brown's pretty excited about the spin-offs and the possibility of being able to participate in them. While she's gonna be focused on her role as Enola Holmes for some time, she's discussed another direction for the show if 11 continued to be a highlight. "I'd love to see another another bald-headed 10-year-old get given that opportunity, she said, which means that there are open doors for all kinds of casting for the spin-off series. The original cast has a lot of things going for them after Stranger Things wraps up. For most of them, the show has been their everything, but they're now on every director's radar, so there's gonna be no shortage of jobs for them. Finn Wolfhard has been pretty popular with casting directors ever since his acting debut, and starred in a lot of other projects like It, Ghostbusters Afterlife, The Goldfinch, and many more projects that follow similarly creepy storylines. Millie Bobby Brown's also been enjoying a very lucrative career, and is now making her mark as Enola Holmes, Sherlock Holmes' younger sister, who's very rebellious for her time and age. It's a well-loved series that deserves a watch.
I mean, please, there has to be something you can do. One of our family members is really sick, and I don't know if she's gonna make it through tonight.
Let's look at how things will be different for the spin-off series. It's not just a story that'll be undergoing some unique tweaks for the sake of delivering something new. The Duffer Brothers are looking for another showrunner as well. Hopefully we find that right person to pass the baton to while we go on to do new stuff, they said. It makes sense having a fresh pair of eyes to offer new perspectives would be very necessary now that the Duffer Brothers have become too comfortable with the Upside Down and the entire franchise in general. There's a risk of repeating things, and we're sure the duo has a ton of scrapped ideas somewhere in a dark nook that someone could go through to come up with something different. They've gone as far as to form a production company of their own to produce shows for Netflix, which is an exciting development. According to the brothers, they've named it Upside Down Pictures and offered a sneak peek into some of the projects that they have in development, which include a play and a series too. The Duffer Brothers are excited to expand on the new play set within the world and mythology of Stranger Things, and we're wondering if they're aiming ambitiously to be as big as perhaps the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They plan on doing a live-action series of the Japanese manga Death Note, and hopefully do justice to it, a series on the Talisman by Stephen King, and an original series with Jeffrey Addis and Will Matthews, creators of Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. There's definitely a lot coming, and we're so excited about it.
In this last year, I know I've been distant.
Finally, are you ready for the final season of the show? Truth be told, there's no word on when it'll drop, which also puts the spin-off on hold as well. Whether the number of jarring cliffhangers the final episode of Season 4 left us to think about, especially the jarring accident with Max, we honestly don't know what to expect at all. It's gonna be a pretty impatient and anxious wait, but let's go on what we have and see what the Duffer Brothers have to say about the even harder creating process. The Duffer Brothers talked about the intimidating process of planning for Season 5, something they didn't start until August, after a little break to refresh themselves from all the hard work they put in. They soon uploaded a grid of a whiteboard with scribbles on it. The picture conveniently blurred out to keep the show from being spoiled. It was good seeing them back in business, and we've got faith that they're gonna wow our socks off this time as well. For Season 5, we're pulling from a lot of those big Season 2 ideas. A lot of our big ending stuff has pulled from stuff that we thought was gonna be in Season 2. Going back to the good old stuff always helps with the inspiration, but now we're wondering if Season 2 could have possibly been better than it was. Despite the long wait, we've got to admit that the show has one of the strongest fan bases we've seen this entire decade. It's pretty rare to come across, but that's what you get when you make actual good stuff for people to watch. So what is your take on the Stranger Things spinoff? Got any ideas to share? Let us know in the comments below. If this is the kind of content you like, don't forget to like this video, and be sure to subscribe as well so you're always up to date.